Hey everybody, welcome back. Weekly crypto update. I really like this segment. It's going to be pretty fun. We're going to get into obviously all the big majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, but we're also going to cover Pulsechain and TitanX and give you updates on those. Also some project updates. We're looking forward to those. Still got the weekend left for Signum to launch, so we're fingers crossed that will launch in this week. If not, it'll probably slip to the beginning of next week. But fingers crossed on that because that's the big deal for Pulsechain, the Signum Oracle. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're also going to talk about Kanye West. Kanye West, because he's gone pretty crazy these days. But you know that's the style too. He likes to be a bit crazy. Yeah, we're going to get into all that. What else are we talking about? Oh yes, the Joseph Parker Martin Bukali fight. I covered that last night and called Parker for the win. Now Parker did end up winning, so that's really great. Parker did knock out Bukali there. Definitely looked he had just flown out from Congo. Had been spending about a week with his family, as I understand it. So probably had quite a few dinners, but he had been training before that, I think in Scotland. So yeah, it's he got pretty much knocked out. He was outclassed by Parker, and I think his ring pulled him out. So there we are. Congratulations, Joseph Parker there, moving forward and forward up and pretty much in the top three, I would say. So it's going to be fun to see that boxing play up. Now, we've been mixing and mingling some of the topics these days, so and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to keep that up. I expect more of sports and politics and other stuff in there. It's going to be a lot of good stuff. But of course, here we are on our crypto session, looking at the weekly crypto update. So let's get straight into it. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. I've updated all the video descriptions, so you can join all the links there. All the links in the video descriptions. Join up to Discord, join up to PUSD ALGO, and join up to Easy Crypto if you want to join up to that. That's fantastic, especially if you want a fiat bridge, fiat to crypto. It's a pretty good site. So pretty shout out there, particularly for New Zealand, Australia, and South Africa. I think is limited too. So get onto that. Really great site. Now let's get into it. We're going to look at the markets. And so before we do that, we've got Brendan in the house there. I was going to call you Brown or Brian there, but it's Bren. Howdy Super is Jai Apathy in the heavyweight division? I think so. I'll have to check that after the live stream. You've caught me off guard there with that one, Brendan. And is he a Pacific Islander in Australia? I don't know. Let me know. But we're definitely going to cover a bit more sports there. What else? So let's get into it. We've got crypto green, man. It's green. So it's Sunday here in New Zealand, midday. Obviously Saturday is still on Saturday in the US. What time is it there? It's probably New York is 6 o'clock in the evening. Yesterday it's on Saturday, and Los Angeles there is what is that? 3 o'clock? Yeah, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So 3 o'clock there in LA. How about that? So we've got Bitcoin at the moment is $96,671. It is up 0.75%, which is nice. Bitcoin dominance 58.71%. That's dropped a lot overnight there because it was over 59%. So that's down at 58.71. Ethereum there, $2,768, up 4.6%. Big strong move there for Ethereum. And Ethereum Gwei's been so low. One Gwei. How long is that going to last, though, right? How long is that going to last? You guys know it can flip around pretty quickly. BNB at the moment up 4%, $671. Solana up 2.4%, $172. ADA, they're up 1.5% at 77.5 cents. XRP managing to also be positive, up 0.2% at $2.58. And of course, we do have some negatives there. We got Tron is down 0.4%, 23.6 cents. And Litecoin down 1.1% at $126. Now, we've got that Su chain there. That's up 3.8% at $3.40. So mostly green. Mostly green across the board. Importantly, Bitcoin still looking pretty strong above 92K. And Ethereum there, nice rebound. That's a good, decent rebound for Ethereum. It will have its day in the sun. It's got institutional backing. So it'll still do pretty well. Now we've got Wookie in the house there. Hey, Wookie. Hey, Super. And Mr. Brown. Yeah. Sorry, Brennan. Wookie picked up on that one. That's typical these guys. You guys as we say. So that is the crypto market for Saturday, Sunday, depending where you are. Let's have a look at Bitcoin in the markets here. Well, I thought I had queued this up, but I hadn't. So we're going to go Bitcoin on Coinbase and have a check this out. So this is the hourly chart. Man, it's been so violent, isn't it? Look how it sort of slowly creeps up Bitcoin on the hourly, then this violent sell-off. got all the way down to 94,750, and then back up here, slowly tracing, flattening out at the moment though, 96,500. So let's see if it can make a nice little rebound. That's on the hour there on Coinbase for Bitcoin. Let's go to the, what we're going to go to the daily there. The daily at the moment, let's reset this chart. And that's not a reset. Let's reset this chart. Oh no, it's gone all haywire now. Reset. Reset chart. All right, so that is the chart there. We're just basically moving sideways in the bottom of a channel at the moment, really. But we're just below the 50-day. 50-day is 97,742, and we're just below that at 96,500. So, and I'm still very, very confident about the months ahead of us here into March, April. So February, of course, is supposed to be one of our 2 greenest months. We still have a few days left for it to etch out a green. But let's check out how much we've got left now. We've got about, let's say, 6 days left, maybe around 6 days left to get that green February month, right? So let's have a quick look at what that looks like and see where we are at the moment. So actually, that's not the chart I'm after either. Let's go to this one. So this is the one here, February. We had negative 5.64% return on Bitcoin for the month. So for January is 9.29%. So it was pretty positive. Now you can see we only had 2 red months in the previous, right? 2014, 2020, every other month had been green. We were pretty optimistic that February would be green based on that historical probability there, and the fact that we had ETFs set up for crypto. We got a pro-crypto president, the chance of a strategic Bitcoin reserve coming up, a friendly SEC policy. We covered the some bit of that yesterday, and of course that's given us a lot of optimism there. We've also got the normal market cycle, which really goes into March, April, but we're actually fairly bullish that 25, 26 is going to be pretty bullish for crypto with President Trump at the helm. So that could be pretty cool. That's kind of where we are, negative 5.64%. Got about 6 days to turn this around and turn it green. So we're going to check on that at the end of the month and see how we get on. Now, the other one we haven't looked at for a while is the Bitcoin halving progress chart. And we have got these green lines, right? So this green line here is 2012 halving. This is this 2016 is the 26 halving, this vertical green line. And then, of course, we've got the 2021 and then the 2024 halving lines. Now, as you can see, as we've gone through 2012, we had a massive rally. That's what we're looking forward to in crypto at the moment. And then, of course, we had 2016, the big rally. Look at that, beautiful. That was gorgeous. I mean, that was a beautiful thing. And then, of course, in 2020, we had another beautiful rally out of the halving. And at the moment, we've got a slow build, and we've got this little plateau at the moment. But I think this plateau is just before we get the big rally, right? The big rally here, and expecting Bitcoin at minimum to go to 150, 180K, potentially $250,000 by the end of the year, early 2026, sorry. So very bullish about that. And also, we could see it even potentially top out at 400K. It's definitely out there, definitely possible in this bull market cycle. So I'm very excited about that. And of course, altcoin season coming on as well. Now, the market's very different from the previous market. We've got lots more tokens, millions of them now, as opposed to tens of thousands, let's say. And of course, we've got a very mature market for the most part. Around bridge technology and all the sorts of other technology that we've got speeding up chains, optimizing chains, staking and DeFi features and things like that. So there's lots of more IGN layer stuff and layer 0, all these sort of technologies have really matured in crypto that we didn't have in the last bull market. So pretty cool. So we've got lots of tokens, lots of projects around. We've got relatively mature technology. It's still maturing, of course, but quite significantly different from last season. And now we have all this institutional money set up. We've pretty much got all players on the board. Now we just need them to adopt it, right? So them to allocate their risk return. That will take, that will probably happen pretty quick, and then accelerate is what we're expecting to see. So we're talking about IRAs and big corporates and lots of stuff that would normally not take that risk. Now consider it more of a risk averse asset in some ways, and particularly Bitcoin, but that cash flow leverages in to some of the top tokens, like Ethereum and Solana and things like that, as also, and then filters in through all the rest of the tokens as well. So that's kind of where we are. So I think we're on the precipice of some pretty powerful moves ahead of us. And of course, March, April should be a big part of that. So pretty exciting. Now we got some cool stuff here coming from Kanye West. Kanye West here, crazy Kanye West. Of course, what's him and Taylor Swift, the two biggest artists in terms of like revenue and views and stuff, I think it was. Kanye West there, a pretty reclusive sort of guy, doing some pretty crazy stuff with his girlfriend as well on catwalks. Now, Kanye West there claims he'll launch a Swastikoin token next week in erratic crypto posts. Now, he puts crazy posts up all the time. Sometimes he takes them down, but he's talking about Swastikoin. It's a little bit cheeky, isn't it? But he's talking about doing that. And of course, the market kind of ignores the political and social ramifications of these things. It just likes the pump, right? The market just will go for the pump. So this could be quite a big deal, but like the Trump coin, we could see some big move if he does launch it, if he does in fact launch it. So yeah, we'll see there. Attempting to contact Binance co-founder CZ, and even publicly mulling launching his own blockchain. He said his upcoming token will launch next week. So keep a lookout for that. If you like us, if you don't care about the politics of it, your Swastikoin, you could, you want to make mad gains, then keep on the front of that, right? So Swastikoin there from Kanye West. That's a bit of fun there. I thought I'd talk about that today. Some crazy stuff. All right, we're going to have a quick look at Ethereum on the chart as well. Let's bring that up, and we'll go for gold on that. So Ethereum on the hourly, pretty similar looking chart to Bitcoin, but a better aggressive move to the upside there. Hence the percentage gain on the old Ethereum. There was up at 2,846, went all the way down to 2,615, back up at 2,768, so $2,768. Did get almost back to 2,800, and it's that flat line there at the moment. So nice little rebound though. Let's go to the daily, see what that picture looks like for Ethereum. We'll reset the chart again, and we can see that we have got a bearish cross. We have got a bearish cross here, what they call a death cross, actually, 50 over the 200-day moving average. But we're consolidating here, and I think maybe they move on Ethereum. Maybe the Trump Foundation or somebody else moves on Ethereum, pushes it up, or it just follows Bitcoin up eventually. It has relatively underperformed Bitcoin. But I'm sure it's going to have its day in the sun. Still got a lot of institutional lending, institutional investing. So waiting for that to move. And of course, we've seen the Trump Foundation pick up most of their bags in Ethereum. So they may go and speculate on was it Solana? Was it? Yeah, but they'll come back to Ethereum there. So interesting stuff. All right, so that is our coverage of the markets there. And not too bad leading into the weekend. Nice green markets for the weekend. Kanye West going to come out with some craziness. Brennan says, yeah, he's an islander, decent in Australia. He is trained. We're talking about this Jai Apati. He is trained with a few of my mates on the Central Coast. Oh, really? I didn't know. You realize you had some boxing mates there. Before moving to Bankstown's gym, I think he's cruiserweight, actually. Okay. But smaller there. It's we got Brennan as well. Wook, yeah. You should call him Wook the Sook. Wook the Sook. That'd be funny. What's that? Wookie says was thinking date he'd be your boxing name down under, Brown. Says Wookie there. Yeah, probably would. Browntown will knock you down, says Brennan there. Like you guys are rhyming pretty nicely today. And we got Hexagrator in there for the USA. Big shout out. Hey gang. Good to see you, Hexagrator. And of course, we got Trump today. Was at CPAC day 3, was it? Yeah, I think it's day 3. Probably the main event speaker there. Or was it day 4? I can't remember. Day 3, maybe. Book the Sook, as it says, Brennan. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's get into Pulsechain. So we've covered the markets. Let's get into a Pulsechain. And of course, let's see what that's doing at the moment. Well, it's doing pretty damn well, isn't it? Day 652. And we're at quadruple 0468 on Pulsechain, up 10.3%. Anytime you got a double-digit day, that's going to be a pretty good day. And it's sitting at 47% of the mean sacrifice price. PulseX there at quadruple 0376, up 10.8%, sitting at just under 38% of the mean sacrifice price there. And the buy and burn there sitting at it's finally done it, 1,280 billion. And that's at 6.44% of the public supply of PulseX has been bought up and burned. And a nice lift in volume recently by some of the things that Richard's been doing. So it's been pretty good. We've got Brian in the house. Have we? We got Brian. So, folks, good to see Brian, our community leader here. Yeah, boy. And we've got Hedgehog as well. Woohoo! Good to see Hedgehog. Hope you're doing well. We've got INC token, Signum token. This has caused all the drama recently in the last couple of weeks. $2.50 is up 15% today. Nice little bounce there. And that's the best performer today out of the Richard Hart coins. 53,486 pulse per one incentive. That's up at what? About 2,500 or something like that in the ratio. That's a pretty good jump there. And the supply is around 55 million. And we're not expecting that to grow too fast now because it's got the inflation got cut by 20x, which means it's only 5% of what it used to be. So that's going to have pretty interesting ramifications. And like I say, some of the fundamentals may be the fact that these are used in collateral contracts, maybe PDI maker. They could be used in all sorts of contracts. They're compound, heaps of different contracts that maybe Richard is trying to move to, pegging and dollars and things like that. But that would increase the asset base dramatically on Pulsechain. But the other thing, of course, is it could have single-side staking on this as well, and that would dramatically reduce the supply. Could have some big burning mechanism system set up. Could have some big third-party protocol set up. There's lots of opportunities to reduce the supply and pump the coin. And what else has we seen with the incentive token? With that rate dropping, the yields dropped dramatically on PulseX, and therefore about 40% last time we checked. I don't know what it is today. But then, of course, that means you got small liquidity. You can pump way faster, right? So with the old, the old Hart's law and pumping at a square there on the old Uniswap constant function there, x times y equals k. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens here. Obviously, Richard's also created some pretty pumpamental posts, which typically indicate that maybe further down the line things are about to move again and again. So it's going to be pretty interesting. And we're waiting for the court case, right? Waiting for the court case. So and of course the SEC's new worldview, which are expecting to be very friendly, may even drop cases like the Richard Hart one if it hasn't already been called by the judge. And maybe the judge is holding off for that, right? So we'll see. Hex at the moment is 1.35 cents. That is up 11.6% today. EHEX is at 3,500th of a penny. We're back up at 1.7 cents combined, which is pretty good, bouncing off 1.5 cents I think it was yesterday. Some good stuff happening here on Pulsechain today, following the market up, which is pretty cool. Now, beats on Pulsechain, man, they've got bigger, haven't they? 4.1 million beats. We used to be down at like 200, 300,000. However, the market generally wasn't pumping. And that's 7 cents for a PulseX swap at the moment. Richard Hart did say, as the chain gets more valuable, as people use it more, to expect the chain to get more expensive. And here we are, about 1,500 Pulse for a PulseX swap, 7 cents. And of course, that all goes into buy and burning as well, too, doesn't it? Now we're 14 times cheaper than Ethereum at the moment, and Ethereum is at 1 Gwei. So just shows you there's a bit of convergence there, isn't it, going on with this this cost to do business on Pulsechain. That's a good sign, perhaps, of things to come, at least at this part of the market cycle, right? Pretty neat. Validators there, 46,600 active validators at the moment. And has that been pretty similar? Well, it's pretty similar the last few days at that level. And of course, they are validating the chain there. The bridge is at 119.2 million. So yeah, we're up. What about 3 million maybe from yesterday? I think it's about that, about 3 million. I think we were about 116.2 or something. So it looks like we're up about 3 million, give or take. That's pretty exciting to see. All right. Now the volume, 30.2 million in volume. So it's a decent day. Not great day, but decent day, especially during the weekend, especially on a Sunday, my time. That's pretty good. We'll see what tomorrow is like because Sunday, it'll be Sunday for America. We'll see what the volume is, but it's still pretty decent. 270,000 transactions at the moment. Where we ranked on Dick Screener, we're ranked number 6 at the moment out of those networks. And let's have a look at some of the better performers. As you guys know, I typically are leaving out the pump.tires. I mean, there's definitely some valid projects coming out of there, but it is this very speculative platform. It does add a lot of value potentially to Pulsechain, although I think it's getting a little bit more. I don't know. Is the momentum losing? Is it getting a little bit scambolic? I don't know. You decide. I know some people have had problems launching coins and not getting the coin set up properly. And the contract, they're taking all the pulse and stuff like that. So there's a few issues out there. Be careful out there on that. For investor at the moment. Now, I understand I got a big intel there yesterday that the Finvestor has actually burned something like 90% of their supply. Hence, it's been one of the top performers lately. It's up 49% at the moment. And look at that chart go. Wow. Look at that chart. Another PDC, the Grays. That is pretty crazy. Look at the volume coming the last 2 days. 158K liquidity, 184K volume, OMG. OMG. So we got 97K buy over the last 24 hours versus 86K sell. So you definitely got to absorb the sellers, right? You make the sellers rich. So you got to absorb that. You got to have more buying power, and it's so apparently it does 47% at the moment. Not bad there. That's pretty 435 makers. Wow, that's pretty incredible as well. Now I think it does have some taxes on it, right? The Finvestor. Let's go have a quick look at this contract Finvestor there. Doing pretty well. So we got 4% burn tax and a 1% Finvestor reflections goes back to holders. Now, we've been covering a few tax tokens lately. Probably the most aggressive of those is Uranus, which we're going to cover. That's on base chain. That has a 12% tax, a 10% reflections, a 2% tax, which feeds the burn. And of course, the LP and the Genesis wallet. So that's pretty crazy. So this has got a 5% tax on this one. But apparently 90% of the volume has actually been burned there. So yeah, there we go. All right, so let's see where that's going. That's going pretty crazy at the moment. Market cap 35 million apparently. So yeah, how many tokens in this actually? Let's go have a look. Let me be a bit nosy there on Finvestor. Have a look at the token supply. 21 million. 21 million, and how many holders? 2,724 holders. A decent holder account for a niche project. So yeah, doing pretty well at the moment. That's the old Finvestor. If you got into that, congratulations. What else has been doing well? Dominance there is up 47% versus Pulse. Let's go have a quick look at that too. Look at that get pumped the last couple of days. So there are some winners here on Pulsechain doing pretty well. So if you managed to pick some of these, congratulations to you. This also has a reflection tax as well. They've become all the rage. They've become all the rage, haven't they? So we got 2.1% in wrapped Bitcoin rewards, and I think that's a pretty smart idea. We've seen Bitcoin, wrapped Bitcoin on Pulsechain, along with PDI, be a pretty good performer amongst the top PRC20 coins. We got 1.4% PLS paid the contract for buybacks, 1% to the LP stacker, and 0.5% self burn. So it's got a nice little distribution there. That is that one, and it's been pumped lately. So who's pumping it? Who let the dogs out? So you got to be behind the scenes on that, find out a bit more information. Not financial advice, of course. These are already pumped. How much more they're going to pump? All that sort of stuff. Now, what else we got going there pretty well? We got XUSD is up 31%. Now, I did think, wasn't this some sort of attempt at a stable coin? I don't know. Can't remember. Let's have a look. XUSD. Welcome to XUSD Vibratile Asset Protocol, first algorithmic stablecoin on Pulsechain powered by the community. Now, as you guys know, we're backing PUSD algo for the win. I think it's a much better model, and that you can see this is really not at $1. So I'm not sure where this is going to head. Certainly got pumped today, XUSD, but it's speculative. You can always take a speculative position in a low market cap coin. But once again, you need to make sure the security is fine, everything else. But it's had 15K in volume today. Yeah, it's got 2 issues apparently. Well, the issues are just a buy and sell tax. But once again, make sure you do due diligence. But XUSD there moving. We have looked at that the other day. BFF is up 27%. That's been around for a year. Not bad there. Let's have a look at that. BFF. Was it Best Friends Forever? Is it Best Friends Forever? What else there? BFF here. We got BFF story here. I'm just scrolling down. Haven't actually looked at this, so it's pretty pinky, pretty feminine. Although I've used these colors myself, so just to show my feminine side. I don't have any feminine side, Wookie. I'm more masculine, more full on masculine. All right, we got Darkcoin. Now this has been around for 12 days. That's probably one of the pump tires ones. Let's scroll down a bit further here. We got Pulse up there, up 25%. So we've got some good movers right today. Let's go. We've got Die Hard. This gives you earns PDI. It's a pretty cool sort of protocol. Up 17%. That's at 10, almost 11 cents. Not too bad. Having a little pump today, off the bottom almost, isn't it? It could be a bit of an opportunity there. If PDI gets that rally back on with the PDI maker theory, then this is likely to pump as well on the back of that. We've got incentive token. We've talked about it already. That's in the mix as well at number 16. Let's see what else we got. PTC, the Grays doing as pumping as well on the DAI pair. We've got Neon. It's been around for a month. That's up 16%. Maker, talked about PDI Maker. This is the Maker contract, and it's probably still a little bit friendly. If you're a big believer of PDI Maker, then it's probably not too bad to get in at this range. $19. Definitely come off the bottom there. 13 to 15 bucks. But that is the PDI Maker there. If that ever does come into version, man, that would be mad gains on that one, wouldn't it? It's very speculative, but mad gains. Those are some of the highlights there. We've got lots of coins doing pretty well. Teddy Bear up 14%. Man, across the board there. PTC, the Grays, obviously doing pretty well. Let's see here. Obviously, Hex in the mix there as well. We'll talk about that. Solid X here. What happened to Solid X? Up 12.7%. But it was supposed to have the Crash game launch at the end of last year. Still not launched. This is from Eric, founder of DragonX, and of course a big Hex holder as well. Big pump today. Waiting for that. This is a good range to get into this token, obviously, if it's pre-launch for that Crash game when it does actually come. We know that Eric's been pretty busy building stuff and getting stuff ready. That could be a pretty good entry. Do your own due diligence, of course. Not a bad entry at 14 bucks on that. All right, so let's have a look else what we got there. Looking further down here. Troper up 12% at the moment. There's probably a few little deals out here actually to be looked at. Mafia, of course, is we've been covering Mafia on Pulsechain. That's up at 12% as well. Not too bad there. And of course, we're waiting. The game is slowly launching out, and I'm going to do some specialty videos on Mafia and some recruitment videos as well. So that's coming up. Not bad. So we got lots of coins over 10%. We got Alien up 11.4%. Incognito up 11% as well. And of course, we're going to have another look at Incognito. It's up 11%. But this has a reflection token as well. And it's looking pretty good. So let's have a check that out. All right, we'll get rid of that. Now, what do we got there? So this, I think you earn incentive tokens on this. Yeah. So you do, and it's got reflections and you earn incentive, I think is the way this works. May have some LP webbing as well, but definitely worth checking it out as well. So not too bad, not too bad. Those are all pretty much all the ones over 10% we just talked about. And that is where we're at. But Richard Hart posted about it. He was pretty excited about Pulsechain, highlighting the bridge. So if you want to, bridge stuff over to Pulsechain, bridge.pulsechain.com is the official bridge, and you can bridge stuff back and forward from Pulsechain to Ethereum, for example. Now, to bridge stuff to Pulsechain is free, and there's a little fee if you're bridging away from Ethereum to Pulsechain. I think is it 0.3% still? I think it is. Now, there are some other ways to get money onto Pulsechain. If you're on BNB, for example, or a couple other chains, Pulse LN is lightning fast. That thing is lightning fast, Pulse LN. Now, if you haven't joined our Discord, we've got a whole ton of links for Pulsechain with bridges. We've got on-chain bridges, cross-chain bridges. We've got official bridges to Pulsechain and back again. But Pulse LN is pretty damn fast, lightning fast. You have to often wait, for a while, but Pulse LN is pretty amazing. So definitely check that out. It is pretty cool. So that is what's happening there with Richard Hart. Now, as you guys know, I'm a big proponent of PUSD. We saw that XUSD token there, talking about becoming an algorithm stablecoin. Well, we're going to back the rule winner here, PUSD Algo. If you haven't seen this, definitely check out the videos I got on the chat. On Hex Token channel, just type in PUSD Algo. You can get a 19% bonus at the moment. The link's in the video description. I've just updated the video descriptions here. Now, we've got to be a bit patient with Jacob. Takes his time a bit there, but he'll get it done, I'm sure. And he is waiting for the Signum Oracle to launch. We're expecting that to launch this week. We've only got like a day left, so are they going to get it out on Sunday? We will see. If not, I think they'll probably slip into the beginning of next weekend. This is difficult tech. So the Oracle, this will be the first Oracle on Pulsechain, and it's a big deal. Open up a floodgate of protocols because people will be able to use price calls, non-price calls, and particular tools like random generators from Oracles here. So a big deal. Also going to open up new revenue income options there with being a reporter for the Signum Oracle. That could open up a lot of people coming over to support that, and that's a big deal. So a big win here. Now, once it's running as expected, Jacob said that he'll give us an updated plan for PUSD Algo. Now, PUSD Algo is going to be was going to be the first stablecoin. It's still going to be the first stablecoin because the other one there, the XUSD, is not stable. That's not $1. It's not even close to it. So this is going to be the first true stablecoin, a decentralized algorithmic. and it's going to be Terra Luna done right, taking all the humans out of it, a full DeFi, and of course stability miners there on Autobot pilots. It's going to be pretty awesome there. And we saw operating on testnet about a year ago. Man, it was incredible, and not only was it incredibly stable, it was better than the liquidity forks and better than the Coast Fiat one, and it was also making money. So it was pretty crazy. Now here's the other one. Of course, we've got multiple other ways of earning on the platform as well, and it's also going to be a V3 DEX. Potentially that V3 DEX will be a full token offering, and therefore also could potentially become the number 2 DEX after Pulsechain. So there's got some huge upsides to this. I'm very excited about it, and we're waiting for that Oracle to launch. So if you want to get in on this now, you can get 90% bonus. The link's in the video description. If you do $1,000 inclusive of the referral bonus, that's something like $840 plus the referral bonus, get you $1,000. That way you get the second bonus, which is potentially massive, up to 2x. So you might get 1.25, you might get 1.5, you might want 1.75%, you might get 2%. You just don't know. It's a random number. But that's going to be huge, potentially huge a bonus there as well. So check it out. Links in the video description. Do your due diligence. There are some documents down here as well. All you have to do is connect your wallet and, of course, send your contributions/sacrifice to this wallet. Remember, this is not like other sacrifices. Up to 75% is going to go in the LP pools for this stablecoin day one. So it's very different from other projects. And so there's not going to be a big slush fund there. All the money essentially is going back into the protocol, and it's going to be pretty exciting. Now, it also might be integrated with the big Mafia game. Obviously, Mafia is the #1 GameFi. It's the only metaverse, and it's the #1 NFT marketplace on Pulsechain. So this would add in the #1 algorithmic DeFi platform as well. Imagine that. That's what we call an ecosystem, which could really dominate on Pulsechain, and excited to see that. So pretty exciting. Jacob, of course, is the #1 world's best peer-to-peer dev in crypto. So we're lucky to have him on Pulsechain. So I'm really excited about where that's going to go. So that is pretty much the end of our Pulsechain stuff. The link to that bonus is in the video description. And of course, don't forget to do your due diligence, all the good stuff there. Who else is in the house here? We got some more comments. We got sup Brian and Mike's from Brennan. We got who is here? So we got Al's in the house there. What's up, bros? Good to see Al's. We got who is here? We got Brian says no, Brian's talking to himself there. We got come on guys, says Wookie. Come on guys. All right, cut that down in the chat there. That's what they're trying to say. So that is our coverage there of Pulsechain. We've covered the crypto markets and Pulsechain for the week. Let's get into TitanX. TitanX, shall we do that? Let's do it and pull that up. So TitanX still not found that bottom yet, but there is some very good shining, glimmering light there. We're going to pull out all the light for you there if you're not familiar. So kind of cool. Now, if you haven't joined our strategy club, the strategy club link is in the video description. And of course, we cover other things other than Pulsechain in the strategy club. And of course, TitanX is a big part of that. We're going to be covering X1 chain and lots of other things as we go forward as well. Yeah, get in there. $35 a month. The link's in the video description for the Discord there. All right, so let's go. We've got this is the TitanX hub. Now, this is kind of the sort of summarizes all the ecosystem of the TitanX and its projects that are being built on top of it, right? So TitanX is on Ethereum. It's just moving over to base chain. It's going to be going over to multiple chains through an omni-chain process. And omni-chain just means that the supply of TitanX is only issued on Ethereum, but then is distributed over other chains. There's only one supply. You're not launching TitanX on every single chain and doubling, tripling the supply. You're actually spreading out one supply on Ethereum over the other chain. So it's very clever like that. And that is just ramping up at the moment. So kind of cool. Now we're going to have a look at Ethereum. Now this is when we capitulated here. So we still haven't found the bottom on the Ethereum here. So we're going to look at that. So this is US dollar price of TitanX. You can see it's down at 6 zeros, 2,500. You saw my blue line target here. This was if we broke 3,000. Our next target was 2,440. And we're actually heading towards that. So yeah, pretty good damn price call by #Suitman. That's pretty much it. So we're going to wait for the rebound there. Now, as you guys know, I'm actually more interested in what the ratio is to ETH. Now, obviously, with each rebound today, it's probably gone down. So we're going to have a look at that. Yeah, that's actually broken down to 9,049. It was at 9 zeros, 10,000. It's now at 10 zeros, 9,400 and 9,040, 49. So it has broken there. Now this is probably the bottom of the bottom. We really don't want to break too much here. Maybe maximum get to 8333, but hopefully we can hold this 9,000 level there. But once again, I think we've got some pretty bullish things coming up in the future. Maybe the 28th of February could be a big turning point there. And we've got Jake has started to slowly come back in social media. He's been working 10 hours a day for this omni-chain roadmap, and we're going to see some cool stuff there. So I'm going to talk about that. All right, so that is TitanX X21 at X28 at the moment. The ratio is 0.92, so it's dropped from 0.95 to 0.2. Let's have a quick look at that. And just to show you that ratio, so this is TitanX to X28. Now X28 is TitanX, but it's the omni-chain version, and we can see it's been pretty dramatic. 1.001, and then of course after base chain was launched there with Uranus and Ouroboros, we're down at 90.72. We rebound at 0.96. So it was a slight discount to TitanX, and then the market here is now pricing it at 92. Now, obviously through the X28 transform, you can get 1-to-1 on there, but at the moment it's cheaper to buy on the market. If you got TitanX to buy X28 on the market there, how much cheaper? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at how much cheaper it is. Oh my gosh, 6.3% better to get on the market at the moment. If that goes positive, it's better to buy through the transform, to transform TitanX through the transform here. So at the moment, you're getting a 6.3% discount transforming your TitanX into X28. You're going to get a lot more X28 there on the old transform. So pretty interesting stuff there. Now, this is because there's a bit of a lull at the moment before we get this omni-chain build out. So the market's waiting for that. And also the TitanX there, waiting for these protocols to start eating up more TitanX there, right? So at the moment, we're at 98.3 trillion TitanX. So the market probably wants to see that start getting eaten up as well. And that will require this expansion, not only on ETH chain, but on the omni-chain, on base chain and other chains, protocols to start eating up the supply because that's what the market's looking for there. 67 trillion liquid TitanX, 23.3 trillion in the BOTs, and just under 8 trillion in the staked amount. And I don't expect the staked amount to change too much anymore. It's really dominated by DragonX and Helios stakers there. So we'll get a little bit of change there, but not as much as we have had up to this point. Now, the other big news is DragonX, of course. All the buy and burns essentially turned off for the most part. Not all of them, but most of the heavyweights are all turned off. And so this is probably going to be a part of sequencing for that wave 3 that we're all waiting for. So just take note of that. DragonX, TitanX V1, ETH is turned off. There's no buy and burn there. It's just sitting there with like $14 million of ETH or something. Let's have a look at how much that is actually, because that's pretty fun to look at. But we're not expecting this to use anytime soon. But yeah, okay. At the current ETH price, $12.3 million, 4,451 ETH in there buy and burn. That is just turned off at the moment. So that's true too. DragonX, the buy and burn in here is also turned off. That is also true. And that is a lot of ETH in it too. 463 ETH by TitanX with DragonX, and by and burn DragonX, it's got 463 ETH as well. So it's got $2.5 million sitting in as well. It's all turned off. This is all intentional. It's all intentional. So just to let you know, despite how the TitanX chart looks, trying to find that bottom still, it is all the buy and burns have been turned off strategically as well. So get the weekends out. And then the weekends cry later on when all the buy and burns are operating, all the projects start launching, all the value add and all that sort of stuff. It's going to be interesting. Now, the other one, of course, we found out recently, Shogun's going omni-chain. That's going to be a really big deal there for Shogun. And of course, that is slowly buying and burning itself away. It's got two big mechanisms. Of course, one is the perpetual auctions and the buy and burn. And the other one is, of course, the LP volume. Let's have a look at the LP volume at the moment. It's about 18K at the moment. And of course, this will go up and down depending on the market value. The market starts going on a big ramp up in value. This can quickly turn into hundreds of thousands and potentially millions of dollars in volume. At the moment, it's at 18K. And of course, 8% of that volume is going back into the system there, which is a kind of cool extra feature. You got to have, the more layered things you got buying and burning and feeding the system, eventually it's going to, have a good day in the sun. Let's say where buying is greater than selling. That's pretty much the idea. Now, Hyper and Hydra. Hydra, of course, they're coming out, man. We're only a few days left. We're 3 days until, I think, 3 days or 4 days until Hydra's last big candle. It's about 35 billion. And then after that, we have got 2 more days, and then minting is pretty much done on Hydra. Hydra buy and burn's being turned down as well. once that gets turned on, you can see all these dials in the system all turned off, ready to go at some other stage. So you get rid of the weekends and then it goes at some stage. So looking forward to that. Typically, probably going to be timed with some of the protocol launches, maybe that Eric and Jake have got coming up there. The other one is Hypers 2, or virtually mined out as well. I keep meaning to check that profile, but I think it's pretty close to mined out. And of course, that's got tons of stuff in there as well. Let's go have a look how much is in the buy and burn. At the moment, that has got $1.3 million in it. Woohoo! So that's pretty cool. And you got to remember, $1.3 million. The liquid is 2.4 million. That's pretty fantastic. How many protocols have zero buy and burn out there? And they got way more liquid. So that is pretty awesome out there as well. And then Hydra too is sitting on pretty good ratio from buy and burn to stats, and almost all the suppliers out. So the liquid is 1.1 million. Probably be just over that by the time we get these last couple of days out of miners. And then the buy and burn at the moment sitting at 657,000. So that's a pretty damn good ratio, MG. So we could get some big moves there on Hydra. The ratio at the moment is 0.09 DragonX, hyper ratio 1.93. Those are pretty telling. So we could see some pretty cool stuff happen there. The other big thing we're going to see is with Helios and, of course, Element 280, Element 369. They're all coming over to base chain. They're going to come over and see their girlfriend, Uranus there. Is that terrible? The Uranus there, the planet. We're talking about the planet. Uranus there. And, of course, they're going to be paired up. I think everything's getting paired up to Element 280 over there. That's coming up in, pretty soon is my guess. There's also for Uranus, there's going to be a big burn party. This burning was turned down as well, just to keep volume at very just sort of simmering over. There's going to be a big buy and burn party there as well for Uranus coming up. We'll talk about that when it comes. That's pretty cool. The other thing, of course, is Vault is having a good time. Vault here is got a big roadmap. It's got Ouroboros lending. It's got the Thunderbolt. It's got and Bitcoin Genie, and these are all basically ready. Bitcoin Genie just in the final audits, I think. So this is all about to blow up, and of course it's burning about 650,000 volt. Yes, it's not 800 because I've redone the numbers. 800 was probably a week ago. It's doing about 650 now, but it's got an epic roadmap coming up here, and so all very near term. So we're expecting the Vault to do some very cool things as well. Morpheus, of course, from Brandon, expecting more V3 dexes and maybe a few enhancements there, and also moving over to OmniBridge to the base chain, Pulsechain, expecting some sort of things there. So we'll keep the ear to the ground on that one. Tink Farms from Eric, along with DragonX, expecting some cool stuff there. Moving over the farms as well, over the Pulsechain, over Pulsechain and base chain, go OmniChain too. So we're going to have a big OmniChain move as well. I think we're going to get a couple more projects on the ETH chain as well. What else are we looking at here? I think there's highlights there and Ouroboros there. Let's go quickly look at the big lender, stablecoin USDX, and have a look at how much value is over there at the moment. I don't know if I've got actually logged on, but we'll go try to log on to a test wallet here. All right, let's go. All right, so let's have a look. Puppy power. Let's have a look at the system stats, and it's been up and running for how long? How many days? How many days has been up and running? 8 days now, so just over a week. And Ouroboros, the big lending platform, has got $1.3 million in it. Obviously, the asset value's come down a bit in US dollar terms. The TitanX collateral's down a little bit too, 3.14. I think it was up at 3.4 somewhere in there. 3.14 trillion TitanX. You got to remember, there's 4 trillion also gone through the protocol, so that's it's over 7 trillion that's gone into Ouroboros, which is a pretty good result, I think. So that's pretty good. 308 billion DragonX in there as well. That's gone down a little bit too, but still the US dollar up at 526k. Not too bad. The backstop pool is at 53.8%, and the overall health is 218% there. Moving to USDX staking, the yield is at 606%, so that's only down 10%. Last couple of days, it's been holding up pretty well. Pretty damn attractive APR there at 600%. And we've had the mint here. If you're going to mint, they've got DragonX and TitanX. Now, they're going to add more collateral, which means that potentially there could be a big jump in the collateral value. They're going to add in ORX. Could be big. That could be big. And Vault. Like I said, Vault's going to benefit. And Ethereum, as I understand. So could get those going as well. Liquidations, I'm only aware of one liquidation, but there may have been more. So you can keep your ear to the ground there. And redemptions, I still don't know when this is launching, but this typically was about 6 weeks, I think, after Power City. So it could be somewhere in that ballpark. That's kind of where it's at. So not too bad, right? Not too bad. Now, upcoming projects. We got what's this? WYVERNX here. So we got, how do you say it? YVNX. YVNX there. That's launching in 6 days and 10 hours. That's going to benefit the Tink farms. Now, as I say, anything that benefits the Tink farms is going to benefit the TitanX ecosystem overall, because it's going to make it arguably rarer and put some buy pressure, sort of things into it. So that could be a very good, nice move for Tink. At the moment, we have Bonfire, I think, is the only one that goes built on Tink at the moment. So that's going to be a nice addition there. The other thing is Bitcoin Genie's coming. I'm hugely excited about this. Can't wait for the white paper. This is a solid DeFi 3.0 project, and could really solve that buying and sustainability that people are all after. We're searching for that holy grail in tokenomics. This could be the next step towards that. So very excited about that. And of course, also excited about Taurus coming up there, another DeFi 3.0 project that may have solved this this buy side issue, that to keep things sustainable and moving forward. So we're looking for that Taurus one as well. It's got like a seesaw APR versus demand there. So I'm kind of excited about that. So we'll see how that goes. That's from Cryptographics, one of the big influencers in Pulsechain and TitanX. So very excited here. Now we've got some more comments in here. None of them are good. None of them are good. I'm here to burn Uranus, says Hexvader. Nice. And Brian says almost got to wrench Mikey. Oh, really? Yeah, that's true. That's true. So that is the highlights there for TitanX. Those are a really good overview there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, we're going to see some fun things happen in the future. Now, I wasn't going to talk about this, but X1 chain, we've seen some pretty powerful things happening here. PZen is up 60% today. Zencat has had a huge run on Zencat. I called that. And you guys, if you got into that, you would have made man gains. That is the chart on Zencat. So congratulations if you did that, particularly strategy club members. What else? There's Zen still coming up. We're waiting for the burn parties and the launch phase for X1. We were expecting X1 to launch in Q1, but you just never know with these developers. Jack Levin, the vampire slayer there, or the vampire, and of course so forth. So that is definitely getting closer though. We are seeing the validated rewards and everything else, so it's definitely getting closer. Those the latest update we had was start validating on the testnet, because you're going to get extra bonus there with the yield. So not bad. And Brandon says Superman's girlfriend Uranus reference wasn't much better. It certainly wasn't, Brandon. Certainly wasn't. All right, that is where we are at the moment. So not too bad. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We covered crypto. We covered Kanye West. And we covered Pulsechain. We covered TitanX. And yeah, we also covered Uranus, as everyone's talking about. If Uranus was a boxer, Wookie would tap that. Says it's a planet. It's a planet. It's a planet. All right, so we're gonna have a quick look at Uranus since everyone's talking about it. So let's have a look at this chart. Now, I've covered Uranus on a video the other day, but let's pull this back in. Let's see how it's tracking. So Uranus has been around for how many days? 6 days and 7 hours. And only 6 days, 7 hours. Still early. This is on the first project on base chain as part of the TitanX Omni chain expansion, and it had a nice rally. We got rid of 2 whales. See this red candle? That's 2 whales gone. So there were 18 whales. That's now down at 16. So 2 whales are gone. That's good news. And of course, when they sell, 12% goes into taxes, right? So it goes into taxes there. 10% goes to reflection back to you as the holder, and 2% goes to boost the protocol burning and LPing. So pretty cool there. Now at the moment, liquidity 61k, market cap 223k there. There's been volume has dropped off, so we're sitting at probably about 8,000 to 13,000. It is a weekend, but it's dropped down to $600 there at the moment. 6 makers at the moment, and the buy and burn's probably not being operated as much because they've turned the buy and burn down. Let's have a look at the overall metrics though. We've got 758 billion. We start off at 786 billion. We're down to 758. So if they keep the volume up, this is going to accelerate very, very well. So expansion and growth is key. We've got the holders there, 264. So that's up about since it launched 6 days ago. That's up about 44 holders, so not bad over the last 6 days. And of course, those volumes there. The other one is, let's have a look at the holders there. We had, like I say, we had 18 whales. We now have 16 whales that are above 1%. So you need 3.8 billion Uranus tokens there to be in the top 16 for the whales. And that's pretty easy to do, I think. Contract there, let's go have a look at that and keep a look at the burning. Like, remember, there's 10% reflections. How much total reflections? 23 billion 157 million in reflections so far. That goes back to holders, which is kind of cool. And then the burn there is at 28 billion. That's a pretty good burn in 96 days. And of course, that total supply is going down pretty dramatically. Now, in the holders class here, the top wallet is the LP wallet, and the second wallet is the Uniswap wallet. So, or sorry, not the Uniswap, the base, Uniswap base wallet that's got liquidity pool in that, right? So this is the liquidity wallet, liquidity pool. It's got 104 in it, and that was down at 90 the other day. And we've got this 122. Now, this stuff here is going to be paired up with all those new protocols coming over to base chain, including Helios, I think, Element 280, and Element 369, and Baby Dragon as well from James. So at least 4 projects coming over, going to be paired up there with Element, and then Element, as I understand, it's going to be paired up with Uranus here, which should add a bit more volume and a bit more opportunity for volume as well. So that'd be free volume, right? So that's kind of it. And also, they've turned the buy and burn down, right? So the buy and burn has been turned down because they're going to be doing a burn party. So that's going to burn a lot of Uranus there as well. Now we're talking about the planet, right? Talking about the planet. Brian says, I've got to get me a kryptonite wrench, says Brian. Yeah, you do. We got thinking they should have named it Jupiter, Saturn, or Venus, anything but sex value. Yeah. Well, it's a meme coin as well, right? It's not just a reflection token sort of system, but it's a meme coin. Now, they've turned the buy and burn down to $10. So if you're wondering why the buy and burn's down so low, $10. And they've still got $59,600 worth of X28 in there. So yeah, they're protecting that, but they're going to have a burn party coming up, and I'll try and find out when it is. Not too bad. So yeah, there's a 10% current reflection fee and a 2% current tax. So there's 12% tax on there. I think you can put about 12% slippage. It is on base chain. You do need X28 on base chain to buy it, and you can buy X28 on base chain, or you can buy it on Pulsechain with TitanX, and then bridge it over through layer 0 using the X28 protocol there. So there's 2 ways of doing that, either directly on base or via the Ethereum TitanX mechanism there. What else are we going to say about this? Yeah, that's pretty much it at the moment. So not too bad. 3.57% burned, 83% liquid, and of course, if you're holding, you get all those 10% reflections. The only thing, just got to keep the volumes up, and that's going to be the challenge. Keep growing in volumes here. So far, so good, I would say. So we'll see how we get on to next week number 2. But definitely check it out. If you want to check out Uranus, pick some up for some spec, get those reflections, then that is the link there. Let me actually put Uranus on base. You can just use a MetaMask or a Rabby wallet, and you can actually bridge over just using that too. So if you've got Ethereum, you want to bridge it over to base chain, you just bridge it over through the wallet. Pretty easy, man. Very fast. All right. That is pretty much it. That is Uranus on base. Let's see how it goes. All right. I think that was it. I was going to wrap up the show, but keep going. We're at 53 minutes on the hour. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Wookie says Wookie does believe they are drilling on Uranus as we speak, looking for kryptonite. Yeah, they might be doing that too, Wookie. The final thing was, if you haven't joined in Discord, get on there and join up. It's only $5 for a month. For Pulsechain Hex Discord. If you want to get into Strategy Club, which is multi-chain, we're constantly providing intel through there. That is $35 a month, so the link's in the video description. If you want to get into PUSD ALGO, you get a 19% bonus for free. Use the link in the video description. And if you do over $1,000 inclusive of that bonus, you get access to the bonus X up to 2x. And of course, that could be, from my opinion, the big DeFi stablecoin on Pulsechain. And of course, the first true algorithmic one that's actually $1. It's one thing saying you're algorithmic, but if you're not even close to $1, then it's not an algorithmic stablecoin, right? It's a speculative coin that you're hoping that we'll get there one day. So that's pretty much it. What else are we going to say? I think that's for the time being. I'll see you guys in Discord. Take care, everybody, and enjoy your weekend. And I'll catch you on the show later today, because I'm going to do a politics show later today. we're going to do politics. So catch me on the next session. Bye for now.